Dangan.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in. So in other words, even if someone did read the note and did what it said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
It certainly would seem that way.
Okay.
The room.
No, that's wrong.
I kept missing. In my defense, I kept missing.
The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Correct.
Right?
Okay, then who did it?
It's only one person who could have switched the nameplates. The only other person who knew they switched rooms. Sayaka.
I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note.
There's something I wanted to talk to you about, just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
Yeah, why would she switch them?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
Why?
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
Why would someone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her. We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
Okay.
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Yeah!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Yes.
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
The reason I know Sayaka's wrist was broken with this fake sword is because of the gold filament. Look at the wrist, there's no doubt.
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen, there's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because
yeah.
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword, right there on her wrist!
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
All right, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
Not quite. What happened in my room? And what led to Sayaka's death? That's what we need to make clear. There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debate. Sure! Are you getting used to these non-stop debates? Starting with the next debate, I'll start loading multiple truth bullets into your truth cylinder. Just like with the weak spots, only one of those bullets can actually refute the proper statement. In other words, from here on out, you'll have to combine the right truth bullet with the right weak spot to refute each statement. If you come up with the wrong combination, you'll take damage to your influence gauge. You can press the Q to rotate the cylinder. Well then, good luck and have fun. I'm going to...
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack!
And that's what broke Miss Mizono's wrist.
So she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
Okay.
A sword-based sneak attack!
No, that's wrong! Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Huh? Why not?
Because the sword's sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead! Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
Oh, Mondo.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it! So here's how it all played out.
Okay, so here's what happened. So she invited Leon over thinking that it'd be an easy kill. And when that failed, she died because Leon got ahead of himself.
The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself, but then the culprit took that from her too. Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes
Yeah,
this
her hands.
clear.
Her hands are clean. Yeah, her hands are clean.
I got it! You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Why? Why would she?
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
Bitch, shut up!
No, that's not it at all.
There's no way she washed off her hands because she had blood on her finger. The water was off.
I got it! According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here.
What?!
Oh my.
You're no different. You smell like a big fat ugly donkey.
Bitch!
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
An insult, obviously.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was
Sayaka.
I got it! Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
Yes.
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Oh my god, she was gonna frame me. Oh my god, she was gonna frame me.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
What?
She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms
Was to frame me.
was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Yeah.
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room where she was staying. And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
But if she survived, that would be her word against mine.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn.
Leon, you okay there, buddy?
That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she'd planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true! Because...
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument. You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it. Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
Is it really all over? Obviously, I'm committed to finding out who killed her, but what can I do? I mean, as far as clues go, there's nothing left. There's a lot left, brother!
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
No, that's wrong.
Owned immediately.
There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's dying message.
I should have been going through these and... Oops.
Dining, wait, what did you say?
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember? 11037. Written in her own blood. There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
Well, before we get too far into that, I need to ask, can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
There's no question that Sayaka wrote the message, and to prove it, her finger.
I got it! Her left index finger had blood on it. That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. But still, what the heck do those numbers mean?
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
It's because they're
Oh, yeah, it looks like...
Huh? What?
No, it's just, look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers. Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
Ah, you're right. The connecting line is barely there, so I assumed it was 1-1, but looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
Whoa, you might have finally just said something worth a shit.
Mondo!
Our little gray cells are really getting excited now.
But even if that really is an N037, doesn't make any more sense than before.
But it's Leon. It's Leon! Makoto, please!
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
Yeah. Huh? Rotate it? I think maybe I see something.
Oh my god. Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
Huh? You just shot past the clue part and right on to who did it.
So, whose name did she write?
Leon. Sayaka's dying message reveals her killer's name. Turn the message 180 degrees, it becomes crystal clear. It's Leon.
Here's my answer. The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees. If you turn the message around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N, or more accurately, Leon.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence.
Is it?
It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
Is it?
No, it's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me.
Uh-huh.
I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
Yeah, we can, because you're the killer.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
The jacket. Yeah, his jacket. Yes, the jacket. That.
I got it! You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
Yeah!
As the killers stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Yeah.
We've got more.
I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Are
Yeah,
you
like the
finally
ball.
starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the ball that's broken, maybe. I mean, who could have thrown that except for the ultimate baseball boy? The burnt remains of the button-up shirt, which the killer wasn't able to get rid of. There's something about it we need to pay attention to in order to figure it out. How it was disposed of.
I got it! If we look closely at how the shirt was disposed of, we should be able to figure out who the killer is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say. You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right? And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either. You'd need the key to get in, and the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty. So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash, right?
Interesting.
No, that's wrong. There's another way to get to use the incinerator without being on cleaning duty. And that's exactly what proves Leon's the real killer. Yeah, I'm gonna call it now. If Crystal Ball shows up, I'm gonna pick Crystal Ball. Yep.
The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
Right.
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
That's the one.
And you'd have to get close
That
to the
one!
incinerator in order to destroy...
No, that's wrong. Hold on. I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
Yes, you could. If you used this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball, but,
But how would you use it?
Throwing it. Yeah, he throwed it.
I got it! The killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate. All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
Someone threw a gap in the gate?
Remember what you said before, Hifumi?
Huh? Somebody turned the incinerator on! Very strange. I'm quite certain it was off the last time I was down here. Perhaps it was the work of a fairy.
Hifumi had the key, so the only way the incinerator could have been turned on without his knowledge was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate. Once they'd gotten the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room. The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
Wait, no, just hold on.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet, right? The pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small. Could someone really do that?
They could if they were really good at baseball.
That's right. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think so. Because the killer is... I got it! Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that right, Leon?
Such force! Leon!
Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer! These goddamn shipper brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you!
Alright, present your case.
You still won't admit it? Okay then. Makoto, go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his crime perfectly clear.
Okay.
And with that, we can end this.
Listen to me! What the hell do you mean, end this?
Say what you want, Leon. But all the questions have been answered, and the truth has been revealed. Now here's what happened.